So on the bench I've got a job actually for somebody else here. I've been asked to try to duplicate some vise jaws but in aluminum for a project somebody else is working on restoring a vise. So the guy who asked me to do this has already rough cut these to length and drilled one of the holes in there. So what I'll end up doing is going through I'll finish the outside dimensions on these, and then I'm going to put these serrations in here. And you see these serrations, they kind of look like they were put in on a mill or something. See how they got some arcs in them? They appear to be about 60 degrees, so they're not a true 45-degree serration. So I'll have to put those in as well. I guess I got a couple of options to put those in. I could put them on the mill, could put them in the shaper, but So what I've done here to cut these serrations in the face of these vise jaws, I basically just made a 60-degree threading tool, but I put some top rake in it to clear the chips out. So I'll go hone this up and we'll go over to the shaper and cut some serrations. So here we are over in the shaper. Just to see how flat it's sitting, I run the indicator across it. You can see I'm about 1.5 thou from this end to this end. It's not too big of a deal, I think, for just putting some serrations in there. Got a lot of parallels stacked up in there to get that high, and I'm not gripped by a whole lot, so I got this vise pretty tight. I'm probably putting a slight bow in that part, but for what it is, I think it'll be good enough. So I'll get this set up to start cutting. So I've got a pretty long stroke set on this. Not only do I have to come off this corner on this end and this corner on that end, I also need to have enough room to react and shut this down between each cut. So I'm going to we're going to use this tool that I ground up, the 60-degree tool. I'm going to go 25 thousandths deep with 1/100,000ths step overs between each line, each serration. This shaper is only got a maximum step over of about 35 thousandths, so I can't use the automatic side feed. So I have to cut a line, stop it, index it over 100 thousandths, cut it, stop it, index it over, do the whole part like that. You see I've got this turned 30 degrees from being zero being this way. That's approximation of this steel vise jaw that I've been asked to replicate in these aluminum pieces. So over here on the side, maybe you can see a little better. Hopefully the blower from the wood stove isn't blowing too much. So like I said, we've got this tip rough set on there, so to 0. Got our dial set to 0 over here. So with that set to 0, I'm going to come over 100 thousandths. So that'll be the first, that's going to be the first pass right here. I'm going to start this up and drop down just till I get a scribe line on there. See, that's just touched right there. So from there, I'm going to come down 15 thousandths. 15 thousandths is going to be the depth of cut. So that's the first cut there. So now I'm going to manually index that over 100 thousandths, cut another line, keep going across like that. Put a little WD-40 just for some lube on that aluminum. I got to make sure that I move 100 thousandths each time or we'll end up scrapping this piece. noisy clutch on this. So there's the first pass. Got through that, didn't miss any steps. So now I'm going to rotate this vise 30 degrees the other direction. Repeat the same thing. That'll be one done. I'm just going off the markings on the vise here. I'm not concerned about being real critically accurate for what it is. 30 degrees on the 30 degrees on the bottom of the vise here is good enough for what we're doing. Okay, same idea, except my depth is already set. I want to, that's why I'm not taking one piece out and cutting another one. I'm rotating in the middle of the part. I want the depth within this part to all stay the same, so there's no visual variations in the piece here. So I wind over. Move this back a little. Same thing here. I'm going to go out to the end of the part. Kind of eyeball the zero. Eyeball the edge of the part. It's close enough for what we're doing here. Call that zero. See, I got to go coming from a far away like this to take any backlash out of the lead screw. We'll call that zero right there. Set the reset the dial to zero on my cross feed. Depth is all set, so a little bit of oil. A little bit of oil and away we go. there's that. Looks like I got through that piece without messing anything up. I will admit I've got to remake the other one because I originally started doing 25 thousandths deep, which was a little too much. I made the diamonds a little smaller than the original, and I was about 3/4 of the way over, and I miscalculated my dial. I only moved 50 thousandths instead of 100 thousandths, so got to redo that one, but made out of aluminum, so it shouldn't be too bad. Just cut it back to size, put some holes in it, copied off the original. So you can see here's the one I messed up. I made a couple of passes there. Lost track of where I was at, and I ended up putting an extra pass in there. So I have to remake that piece. And here's the other piece compared to the original one. You know, the original one has got some the kind of a radius pattern in there. I think I like this a little better. It's about the same size, same angle. I'll deburr it, clean it up, and I think that'll meet the requirements of the. Hopefully you enjoyed this, seeing this, making serrations on this 100-year-old shaping machine, metal shaper, and we'll see you next time.